Hi and welcome. I'm trying to learn Quotology. Today, Herman, Weyll about Emmy, Nother. And after we've done it, we're gonna do martial arts basic training. And if you participate in the martial arts basic training, then it's with anyone. Now, first quote. This is part 2 already. Emmy Nother, her courage, her frankness, her unconcern about her own fate, her conciliatory spirit, was in the midst of all the hatred and meanness, despair and sorrow surrounding us a moral solace. Yes, and this is about disease, war, Holocaust, maybe, and something like that. So, Emmy Nother, her courage, her frankness, her unconcern about her own fate, her conciliatory spirit, was in the midst of all the hatred and meanness, despair and sorrow surrounding us a moral solace. Now, we were pretty close already to have memorized it. I'm not so sure how close we know. Her courage, her frankness, her unconcern about her own fate, her conciliatory spirit, yes, brilliant. Emmy Nother, her courage, her frankness, her unconcern about her own fate, her conciliatory spirit. Her courage, her frankness. Emmy Nother, her courage, her frankness, her unconcern about her own life, her conciliatory spirit, was in the midst of all the hatred and meanness, despair and sorrow surrounding us among God. Hatred and meanness, was in the midst of all the hatred and meanness, despair and sorrow. Despair and sorrow, they are no contact. Despair and sorrow surrounding us. All the hatred and meanness, despair and sorrow surrounding us. Despair and sorrow surrounding us. I'm also just, I find it a bit nicer. Emmy Nother, her courage, her frankness, her unconcern about her own fate. Her unconcern about her own fate, her conciliatory spirit, was in the midst of all the hatred and meanness, despair and sorrow surrounding us, a moral solace. Okay, another time. Emmy Nother, her courage, her frankness, her unconcern about her own spirit, her conciliatory spirit, her unconcern about her own fate, her conciliatory spirit, was in the midst of all the hatred and meanness, despair and sorrow surrounding us, a moral solace. And we want to say a little bit about who she is. Now, I wanted to say something about what she did, because she did make an important theorem. I don't know what a theorem is, but she said something important about the symmetry of the whole universe. And that was the basic for many theories. What theories? But the problem is I wanted to say what it is, and we read a little bit on particle physics, but I couldn't figure it out. Through Nother's theorem, symmetries of space and time yield conservation of energy, momentum and angular momentum everywhere all the time. But there is much more. Symmetries in space and time might be obvious to the naked eye, yet Nother's theorem, true strength comes from the internal symmetries. To the uninitiated, the standard model of particle physics is nothing more than a list of fundamental forces and particles, but it is a model of internal symmetries writ large, and was built on Nother's theorem. I don't understand. She did do important work. She did do important work about the symmetry of the universe and its forces, where they are consistent everywhere in the universe. Of energy, momentum, and angular momentum. I don't really know what it is. She said important things about the symmetry of the universe as it is consistent in energy, momentum, and angular movement everywhere all the time. About the symmetry of space and time. She made important work about space and time of the universe and energy, momentum, and angular momentum of the universe, and how it is consistent everywhere all the time in the universe, which was then important, or made it possible to do mathematical calculations based on that. Anyway, this is not cool. I think it's also part of what makes mathematical things possible. Einstein's work revolutionized our view of a universe, but also spurred a great deal of interest in the role of symmetries in physical laws. The person who made something concrete, mathematical out of that was one of the greatest unsung heroines of modern physics, Emmy, who formulated with a Rome that today bears her name. Simply stated, it says the symmetries lead to conservation laws. This formalized an idea intrinsic to, but unstated in, the two theories of gravity. I get now what the sentence means. The two theories of gravity do not state these symmetries of leading to conservation laws, but it is intrinsic, it uses them. For another example, consider a puck placed in a very smooth, very large frozen lake. Wherever the puck slides, the lake is the same. Nother's theorem provides a general way of turning that statement of symmetry into a conservation law. Who made important work about time and space of the universe and how it is consistent with its energy, momentum, and angular momentum everywhere all the time. Her work makes it possible to calculate made it possible to calculate in a mathematical way many things of the universe. Somewhere was written, I find it out. What Nother's theorem adds up to is practical prescription for making progress in physics, identifies symmetry in the world's workings, and the associated conservation law will allow you to start meaningful calculation. She made important work about time and space. About space and time and space. And how in it, energy, momentum, and angular momentum are always obliged by the same rules. I think that is what it said. It's not everywhere the same energy, momentum, and angular momentum. It's obliged through Nother's theorem, symmetries of space and time yield conservation of energy, momentum, and angular momentum everywhere all the time. But energy, momentum, and angular momentum are yielded. I don't understand the sense. So. What are symmetries of space? It becomes obviously that I have not completely given up to try to say by the quote what work is. Understandable. There was actually a plan, but we're not going to say it just. Okay. Let's do the quote again, and then we come back with a new plan. Where we're going to do in particle physics, then more searching after what Nother symmetries of space mean. So we'll come back to the quote. Now, what is the quote? The quote is from Herman, Weyll, and it is that Emmy, her courage, her frankness, her unconcern about her own fate, her conciliatory spirit was, in a time of hatred and meanness, despair and sorrow surrounding us, moral solace, was in the midst of all the hatred and meanness. But okay. Now, that was the Quotology part. If you were here for Quotology, you can go directly to the next part. We will continue with Quotology or public physics. We will do now the martial arts basic training. If you still participating in the martial arts basic training, please put the arms up. One leg up. And we're doing the creating mushroom, bring the foot up and down. Stand the other leg up. And bring the foot up and down. Now take the leg at the ankle. And make a straight back and point with the knee down to the floor. Take the other knee at the ankle. Make a straight back and point with the knee down to the floor. Now the chain stop block. Toes up on your forward is touching the inner side of the leg. Arm to the other side. Toes up on your forward is touching the inner side of the leg. And now the mantis go over from one side to the other one. Now the lunges fall in front, go lunge, and go back. And the last two. And now the shovel snowblow. Knee up and back. Again, aber knee up and back. Knee up and set it back. You can do 3 steps in a bit. And also last time. Now stretch kicks. Arm out. Kick against it. Arm out. Kick against it. And again. Last two. And now a frog, knee up and back, and again up and in. Back, up and in. And last time. And now Kreshkin kicks the leg up and back. And up and in. And last two. Swing kicks. Leg up. Over. Step back. 2, 3 steps up. Over. And last two. Back up, over, sit back, up, over. Now 10 push-ups. Hands underneath the shoulders, elbows to the rib cage, down, and again up. And the second one. And up. And the number 4. And already the 5th one. And to the 6th one. And to the 7th. And now the 8, the 9, and the last one, and number 10. Now a bit stretching. Heel to the ground, pull the toes in, for hiker's hilltop stretch. Foot to the left, pull the toes in. Foot to the right and pull the toes in. Foot into the middle and turn the left foot to the right. Aber heel to the ground and pull the toes in. Foot to the right, pull the toes in. Left, pull the toes in, middle, back from left to right. And last exercise, the trunk igniter, legs wide apart, breathe in. And out. Okay. Out. Last one, breathe in. Out. Breathe in, close the legs. And breathe out. This was a martial arts basic training. Thank you very much, and until next time.